press play. It's a brand new day. Laugh, unload, make waves. We doing it our way. Yeah. Good day, hey, come on and start your day with a smile and a wink and a how you going, mate. Good day, hey, pull up a seat, let's say we're all in this together. Good day.
Welcome back, my millennials and gaylennials. It is time for another episode of Good Day Gay, and we are talking Bachelorette drama, soft swingers, hard roses, and half the dolls. I'm one of your hosts, Russell Ray, along with my co-host, Paulie B. What up, Paulie B? Why are you laughing
What
already?
up? Because literally when we signed in, I started doing the dance to get you done. What I don't know the lyrics to the song yet. Go. Half the dolls.
So we are going to be talking about the dolls,
Yes.
and normally we would talk about the other dolls, the dolls, the girls.
Protect the dolls.
Protecting the dolls. But today we're actually going to be talking about the Pussycat Dolls. But first, Mom Talk has blown up. Okay, we are talking about Taylor Frankie Paul, her soft swinging, and how it led to a major show on Hulu Network, and how we ended up at the Bachelorette drama. So
yes,
Paul,
you need to give you need to give a breakdown, because you told me this yesterday. You were like, Taylor Frankie Paul, and I was like, do you mean I don't know, Jake Paul's brother? And you were like, no, you idiot. I don't know what it is. I think Australians choose what they're into, and very mainstream American very mainstream American reality TV. I don't know, Australians aren't into that. So give me a lowdown. What's the tea? I've obviously watched the videos and everything, and it's crazy.
Okay, let me break it down for you. Taylor Frankie Paul started on TikTok with a bunch of other Mormon moms. They started as Mom Talk. They were doing dances together. They all live in the state of Utah. I was ironically there yesterday. And Mom Talk blew up so big that it created an interest from Hulu, and Hulu signed them as the Mormon Wives. And now Mormon Wives has been streaming for multiple seasons, 3 seasons now, I believe, on Hulu Network, which is owned by Disney, which is owned by ABC.
Yes.
Disney encompasses ABC and Hulu, who also, ABC is where The Bachelor is filmed here in the United States. So Mom Talk blew up so big. Taylor Frankie Paul is the center of all the drama, from when it came to soft swinging to bad relationships to now being single. And she has been a bombshell on the show for all 3 seasons. And now we are at the point where she was chosen to be the next Bachelorette. Now, here's the thing with the Bachelorette. Drama has unfolded this week. TMZ. Do you guys know what TMZ is in Australia? Yes?
Yeah.
No?
Yes.
Okay.
TMZ, yes.
So TMZ is our gossip network who always gets their story right? So TMZ released a video of Taylor Frankie Paul from 3 years ago when she threw 3 bar stools in her house at her boyfriend at the time. Now, the controversy is, obviously, it's domestic violence, number 1. Number 2, the chair actually clipped her daughter, who was sitting on the couch as well. So all of this to be said, Mormon Wives is her show that she came into after Mom Talk, and Mormon Wives has blown up. There is so many viewers. They have made millions and millions of dollars on Mormon Wives, between the ads and the streams and everything in between, right? And so you have these now major players, and the opportunity presented itself for Taylor Frankie Paul to now be the Bachelorette.
The Bachelor,
The drama is, now that the story has been released, the Bachelorette was supposed to air on Sunday, and it has officially been canceled. It has been pulled. ABC, Disney, Hulu, all encompassing, they are losing about $80 million just on the scandal itself. Now, here's where things start to take a turn. Is this did happen in 2023, and she called her ex this week, right? He's posted screenshots. She called him 150 times within a matter of an hour. 150 times because she had gotten word that this video was going to be released. Now, here's the thing, right? So it's been alleged that now they're looking into ways on how to litigate this and get their lost revenue back based off of this whole scandal that's happening. In the television world, which you and I know that or most people know, if you follow me, I was signed to a television network at one point and I was hosting for them. And here's the thing with the television networks, you go through a hard set of background checks. They are vetted from top to bottom in cases they're reaching out to former employers, people, events that used to hang out with. They're getting all the information on you. So it's now being questioned on how this never came about to start with, because there is a mugshot from 3 years ago in 2023 where she was arrested after throwing those chairs at her then.
No way. Like that, it just surfaced.
Yes.
It's funny that you've like
the chat is blowing up today. We have people coming in and out. We're doing it. They say hello. Hey y'all, welcome to Good Day Gay. We are talking the Bachelorette. So let's get into it. What do you want to know? How much do you know out over there down under? And the Bachelorette over there is also a thing. The franchise has done different destinations, UK, all the above. So what do you know down there on everything that's happening?
I mean, I've seen the video, like I've seen the actual thing where she's like throwing the chairs and her ex is like, are you really going to do that while like your daughter is here? Like you do this all the time. I've seen people bring back like videos from previous like episodes of Mom Talk where they're like, it all makes sense now, like where that other girl is like coming for her and she's like, oh, like you're so mean, like, this is why all of your boyfriends like leave you and all of that kind of stuff. Like I've seen that. And I've seen her on like a talk show. I think she addressed it straight away, didn't she? Like she's already addressed it.
So she did address it. ABC is the talk show she was on is also part of ABC. So they asked her to address what's happening. And this was before, everything is still developing, right? This just came out 3 days ago or 2 days ago. So everything is still kind of unraveling. I found out today about the 150 calls and that it happened to be right before this video dropped. So she was trying to prevent this from happening. Then one of her co-stars from Mormon Wives, Demi, was on a podcast recently. And she, I guess Demi is like a major villain and a player in the game and on Mormon Wives. And Demi said that Taylor, sorry, I'm trying to keep all the names straight, that Taylor messaged her that, I know there's been a lot of heat on you this season. However, there's a few things that'll probably come out about me coming up in the next couple of weeks. So, hopefully this will pull some heat off of you, but I'm like trying not to let that get to me. So now we're finding out that Taylor knew this whole time that this video was about to drop. Now, between the screenshot of the phone calls, what the girl said on the podcast. There's a lot happening in the Bachelorette world, and the Bachelorette is a major, major franchise here in the United States.
Oh, 100%.
Watch parties. I'm talking, it's as big as Drag Race. It's like where bars are being filled. So people, Love Island is equally as big. So people are clinging to this. And it's a wonder how this video never came out before. Like here's the thing, fame brings all kinds of things out of your life, right? Which is why the vetting process happens. So when I was with NBC Universal, they went through everything, all my past history. I think they even pulled my MySpace at one point. So you got to have a clear slate. I was working with kids, so they really did a deep dive on me. So it's, when you hit that notoriety point, people want to know. People want their 15 minutes of fame, and people want to get the best of you, right? And they're finding out that she's the Bachelorette now, which comes with all kinds of endorsements post-show, right? It's alleged that she was making $250,000 for the season to film for those 6 weeks. But the ad revenue that comes with the Bachelorette and the Bachelor is major for Disney and is a major component of revenue to produce other shows and other content and to keep things flowing at the like that's one of their breadwinners right there. So it's so unfortunate that they're going to be losing ballpark around $80 million. But not only that, I also want to get into everybody that was on this season. You have all of these gentlemen who, scored this role on the Bachelorette, and ready to leave their jobs and ready to, start their training businesses. And this is the moment that even if they didn't make it with her and they didn't, they weren't the final three, like they were going to get some notoriety, potentially be the next Bachelor, because that's how it happens. A lot of times.
Exactly. Yeah.
They go from franchise to franchise and they usually pull someone that fans are disappointed that the person didn't pick. So these poor guys spent 6 weeks of their life filming a show that has now been officially pulled. There are videos of banners being pulled off of, Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. Like, it is really going down. And the premiere was supposed to be less than 48 hours from now. Right. So they are really going in on this. And you know what? Disney has a brand to protect. So do I blame them for protecting their brand? Absolutely not. Because I would personally love to be signed. I would love our podcast to be signed to Disney. Once they enter the podcast space, as Disney does have podcasts now. You have like shows like Paradise, and you have shows like Love Story with the JFK Jr. and Caroline Bissett story. All of that. There's podcasts now following that. Anyways, that's besides the point. But this is major drama for the Bachelor, Bachelorette world. Like, people are shook in these. There's so much that I can say, but I want to let you take a moment and take a beat and bring in your thoughts. How are you feeling? What it like about everything that you've seen? I know you've already mentioned the video, but what is the take? Like, is there anybody on TikTok in Australia that's talking about this? Because this is, even though it's Americanized, it's a major scandal. And usually major scandals like this are global, and every major, country usually is talking about this because either A, they want to prevent it where they're at, or B, like, it's just such big news that everyone's trying to jump on it and find out more information.
Nah, I don't think I've seen it. That was so Aussie of me. I don't think I've it hasn't hit my like TikTok or like my Instagram yet. Like, I've just been watching all of the American ones, but I think like you wanted to talk a bit about it, right? Like, break it down, like what was she doing? Like, is it okay? Like, I think it's just insane that literally before it aired, this is going to happen. So I think my mind is always just going to like, is this literally a publicity stunt? Like, I don't know.
Well, let's break it down like this, right? So I want to talk about the rules of the Bachelorette. And the rules of the Bachelorette are you're dating multiple people. It's structured chaos. The producers have control over what's happening. There are clear rules of what you can and can't do. Including eliminations, fantasy suites, roses.
I mean, they even like control your like social media. Do you know what I mean? Like, they literally
a lot of time your social media will be wiped of certain things.
Literally wiped. And then it's like you have to post this certain amount of things once a week. You have to post this, you have to post a video, you have to like post a story. Like, they full control everything.
Yes, correct. So this is the television world, right? When I was filming for Create the Escape I know you guys don't have Peacock down there, but NBC Universal has a streaming app in the States called Create the Escape. And so when I was filming for Create the Escape, there are clear things there are marks that you need to hit. There are ways that you need to portray yourself on camera. Like, there's just etiquette, right? Because I come from the hosting world. I went to school for hosting, broadcasting, television. So I know the ins and outs. And there is a structure and there's a method to the madness. And there's a reason for that, because you need sound bites. You need production content that you can take and now put on social media. So all these things play a role. You need PR moments when you go and you do press. They're cutting and they're making sizzle reels for the season while these people are doing press. So there's all these things that are structured, and there is a list from A to Z that has to be checked off by the executive producers, by everyone that's involved in this show. Now, this person came from Mom Talk, right? So there's reality TV, there's structured reality TV, and then there's TikTok. TikTok has no rules. TikTok is unstructured and can be chaotic, right? Everyone's going based off vibes. Everyone wants to like, comment. Everyone is just trying to get the most amount of views that they can, right? And there's the only consequences are getting canceled if you go too far. And at this point, from you and I, like as millennials, I feel like we know when to reel it back, right? We know when too far is too far, and we know when to like dial it back a little bit. But it seems like the envelope keeps getting pushed further and further in today's times. So what are your thoughts on that? On the fact that you have a structured television show, and now you have an influencer who went from no structure and chaos to reality television that's semi-structured, but producers have to do what they do in order to make meetings happen and all these things happen, like for Mormon Wives. But then you have the Bachelorette. That is you're supposed to be marrying this person at the end of the season, right? You're supposed to know in 6 weeks. Like this, they've done the psychology and everything behind you in order to match you with as many people that are your perfect type. And now we're here.
See, I don't know if you have it in like, or if it's big in the US, but in Australia, like MAFS, Married at First Sight.
Yes. My mom loves that show. My mom loves Married at First Sight. My mom loves 90 Day Fiance and all the above. Shout out to mom.
So it's literally shout out to mom. It's literally like one of Australia's probably biggest like reality TV shows, and it probably started off like genuine in the sense of like people were legitimately looking for love and stuff. But then these days, like MAFS is literally all about the drama. So I see what you mean about like the structured senses and everything. But I do feel like I think about me, if I was going to go on a show like MAFS, if I was going to go on a show like Big Brother, like I'm going onto the TV show to make TV, like to make exactly what you said, like sizzle reels, like, like iconic moments, like literally like iconic moment from like, is it Indian Big Brother when she's like, Pooja, what is this behavior? Like, I did not kick it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that would be my goal. Like, if I was on a TV show, I would be like, this is what I am aiming for. So I think, although everything's structured, there's definitely a sense of like production, if that makes sense.
I feel like,
but you would know more. Do you know what I mean? Whereas as a viewer, I look at it and I'm like, production. Like you look at all of everything from like America's Next Top Model, like that's all coming back now, that's all coming to light.
Yes. Oh gosh, we gotta cover that too.
I know, but you look
not today, but another day we'll cover that.
Exactly, that's like a whole new topic. But you look at that all and you're just like, there was a level of production to this, but the people are told like, hey, like this is what's happening, this is what's the go. Like insane.
Okay, so look, I want to dig just a little deeper about this.
Let's dig.
Bachelorette drama, right? So I want to talk, and the reason I want to talk about it is because Taylor is an interesting person in multiple aspects, right? So Mom Talk, the reason that Mom Talk got picked up into Mormon Wives is because of this whole swinging situation and this group of friends, and then they started swinging with each other's friends.
Okay,
right?
so when you say swinging, you mean like swingers, like
yes,
couples hooking up with couples.
Yes. So they called it soft swingings because they were all in the same bedroom at the same time. And the gays are looking at this like, girl, y'all discovered open relationships and this got messy, right? Like, since when have the gays ever gotten a television show for being open or like being swingers, right? And here's the thing too, with us, we're, as much as we like to say like, oh, we didn't date women because women are too emotional. Like, I don't say this, right? But some gays like, I don't date women because like there's too much drama there, blah blah blah. And I just love men and love it. Okay, a gay in an open relationship will take you from A to Z in emotions, and it, especially if you have one that's insane, it is craziness. And so it's like, Taylor is an interesting choice, right? Because she went from being in this swinging relationship where her group of friends and they were all kind of like being intimate with each other. And we've had shows in the past here in the States where a couple in Utah where there was a show that was called Sister Wives, and it was on for multiple seasons. He has 4 wives, and he was also Mormon. And so it was just this major scandal right out of the pandemic that like broke the internet. But then you have the Bachelorette, who there is hard rules on what you can and can't do when it comes to like, makeouts and, things that are like, that's why I'm saying like, this is just an interesting scenario that Taylor would be the one to be chosen for the Bachelorette, right? Like we went
because
from,
the whole
I'm trying not to girl bash, right? Because it's hard to speak about this in a sense, but the world is now transitioning from influencer, right? Like the whole day of influencer is being changed, and now they're being called content creators because it's now influencers is like a bad word, right? Like no one wants to be called an influencer. They want to be called a content creator because they're creating content. Yeah. And here's the thing, people are eating it up. So there was this divide between celebrity and reality star and content creator. But now you have this bridge that's being gapped, which is where I'm trying to go with this, is that you have now a TikToker who has now become a Bachelorette because of their TikToking and because of how they've managed it from reality star to this.
Yeah.
And it's not this original wholesome. The Bachelor for a lot of times is like, oh, I'm a pilot and I live on a ranch and I raise animals and I do all these things. And then it was like, I'm a nurse, I'm the Bachelorette, I'm an ER nurse, or like I'm a nurse practitioner, all these things, right? But now we have, I'm an interesting socialite who had this chaotic lifestyle off of TikTok, and my friends and all of us have, we're kind of frenemies, and now we're friends again. And, and then we were with each other's husbands and with each other, and there was like a lot of things happening, and we were all in the same bedroom. And so it's interesting how the world is changing, right? Because we went from unhinged reality television when it first came out, when we were like, when we're in our teens, and we're like, hell yeah, I want to be on that show. You had a lot of unhinged shows, and there was no structure or rules because everyone is just trying to be the first across the finish line, right? Like get it produced, get it on the air, get it. RuPaul was right there. I was in my early 20s when Drag Race came out. RuPaul was at the beginning stages with Drag Race when it came to reality television and reality competition television. That's why Drag Race has won so many awards, because they have grown and learned and has this structured formula that works. And this is why the Bachelorette also works. But it's interesting to me now that we have a TikToker who was a Bachelorette and now the show's being pulled because of this scandal. So what are your thoughts on how reality television has gotten to this point?
I mean, I think that's like, so first of all, there's like the two things of, well, one, like you were saying, like they were talking about like soft swinging or whatever. So it's like to go from like, swinging, like multiple relationships and all of that kind of stuff, into the Bachelorette, where it's like, okay, the whole point of the Bachelorette, like you said, is like to find love and all of that kind of stuff. So it's like going from, okay, let's like have multiple partners to like having one partner. So that's the weird thing. But I think it's also like what you said about like pushing the envelope, if that makes sense. Like if I take RuPaul, for example, like RuPaul used to say, may the best woman win. But now RuPaul says, may the best drag queen win. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's changed over time. And like, I think that's where, like, it would be interesting if, again, we need to talk about this, but like if America's Next Top Model like created a 25th cycle, like what would they do? Because they can't push the boundary anymore, because like that's not socially acceptable these days. So,
but here's the thing, like you can push the boundary, you just have to push it in a different aspect, right? So we're not talking like, you don't cut, or you don't, how can I put this? I'm Hispanic with curly hair. I need someone who has history of Hispanic curly hair, or someone who has worked a lot with Hispanic curly hair, in order to make sure my hair sits right. Same thing for African-American individuals. You just can't hire any person to cut black hair.
No.
It has to be done in a certain way. And so we have all of these things now in today's time where it's like, okay, we can get the right tools that you need. And so, Tyra Banks was unhinged for having someone cut a
Rabies.
black woman's hair the way that it was, right? In one of the seasons, which they talk about in the documentary. But I'm getting away from the point here. You can push the boundary in a different way, right? You can have a straight man in a leather corset walking a runway because you're teetering with the creativity of hypermasculinity and feminism, but this is also still a straight man, right? So you can push those boundaries in that way.
You can push the boundary.
You can also make them walk through the center of, flames coming up on each side because it's a fierce look, but you're in the safety realm here and you have sprinklers that have been set up above you. So you can push elements like that when it comes to pushing boundaries, but teetering with ethnicity and gender and all that, those are the type of things now that reality knows to stay away from.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's because of the respect, right? And so, but it's interesting now that we're in the stage of like, is this what's to come, right? We have such unhinged content on TikTok and it really comes to think like there's so much content online now. Like, how does a company completely vet someone? Is this
exactly
is it extending the process? Do you do it for a year at a time now instead of maybe like 6 months because there's so much to comb through? Because it's things are easy to miss, right? Things are easy to miss because.
But I think at the end of the day,
the world is saturated with videos. This is the real tea. We got cut off by the internet.
But I think sorry, you're cutting out a little bit. Oh my gosh. I know. Holy shit. The internet was stop talking about this. Oh my God. What was I even going to say? But at the end of the day, right?
She was coming for us.
Yeah, she was like, don't talk about me. But at the end of the day, any publicity is good publicity. Well, any publicity is good publicity, right? Because even if she's not the Bachelorette, but if she's not the Bachelorette next season, it will be that. It's oh, the Bachelorette's back. But remember last time, it was canceled because of this.
Yeah. Are you talking about another TikToker being a Bachelorette or a reality star being a Bachelorette?
General. Or are you
talking about Taylor herself?
Just in general for Taylor, for the Bachelorette, for whatever, any publicity is will become publicity.
Well, here's the thing, right? I have to slightly disagree with you on this, right?
Let's fight.
With any publicity is good publicity. Look, in a sense, it can be, right? You are being talked about. We're on a podcast now talking about her, right? And our views are so far up today. So you already, right? For a live. But how can I put this?
Go for it.
Not for me, not all publicity is good publicity, right? Because you want someone like Amaya from Love Island, right? Amaya Papaya from Love Island, who everyone likes her, everyone's rooting for her. She got DM'd by Savage Fenty, right? She's getting all these DMs, girl, call us when the season wraps because we want to sign you. We want to give you these contracts. We want to. And the first 2 years post-season of reality show is vital for any reality star in order to lock down contracts, modeling contracts, next opportunities. Those 2 years are so important if you're trying to pursue this full time. And you have to be interesting enough to do so. Now with Taylor, this whole video, if we want to dial this back, right, there's a lot of videos that have come out over the years of celebrities, including athletes, professional athletes, which then turned into, is this a mental health issue because of the strikes in football? Can it create this syndrome where they're not registering the reality of aggression that they're at? Right. So there's all these different layers of this. But for someone like Taylor, she talked about being on a journey with her own mental health. But this is where things get crazy, is because at the end of the day, no matter what you call it, it's domestic violence, right?
100%. Yeah,
And not to say
100%.
that her spouse didn't contribute to the situation and that he also might have been violent, and those things are still developing, and this isn't obviously just a one blame type situation, because what's popular to do is to take the blame on one person.
Well, has he said anything? Like,
they have reached out to him for a statement. He hasn't said much, but there has been alleged that he's also contributed to violence in the relationship, and that it was a very toxic relationship. But my point being is that now, being the Bachelorette is like, you are main character at that point, right? Mormon Wives, big show, but it's like any other show where you have to split the time with everybody else in the show. Taylor was going to be followed individually, despite these other men coming in and out and trying to date for her love. She was the center of attention. So this was the moment where she was going to start solidifying contracts and all these other things, right? And ambassadorships. And so she may have the publicity,
but she won't necessarily get that. Yeah.
But at this point, she is losing money hand over fist. And if she is found liable for this whole situation, Disney can come after her for lost revenue and lost potential revenue if they can show that they had already had people interested in buying ads for the commercial segments in between the Bachelorette. Having studied and been in that field as well, and knowing how ads work, ads can go for a lot of money, right? Especially on a major franchise like this. Ads on the Kardashians go for a lot of money. Ads for the Super Bowl go for a lot of money. Ads for the World Cup go for a lot of money. And then you have franchises that are branched off across the world, like the Bachelorette, where those ads go for a lot of money. Now, she's a beautiful girl, right? Stunning. So
she is. She really is.
She very much well could have been contracted with someone like Selena Gomez for Rare Beauty, or she could have been contracted with Savage Fenty, with Rihanna. All these opportunities now, I feel, are, until the complete story comes out, these are on pause indefinitely, right? Because anybody who's going to invest time and energy now in this situation or with this person, they have to find out the entirety of the situation, right? There has been, like Cassie, we never knew that she was enduring the abuse that she was enduring until all of this came out, right? And then, now Cassie has this whole other world of support that she had never thought that she had before, or maybe, couldn't have, because it was unbeknownst to everybody exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
And so I feel like brands now going forward with brand deals, especially, this is an eye opener for everybody who is working with any type of reality star, TikToker, or content creator at this point. It's
like, what's their past? What have they done?
Actually worth our money, time, and energy, or is this going to blow up in our face? So it's an interesting story, and definitely want to see where this develops. But I also want to do a hot take on the whole swinging situation, right? This has been going on for, this conversation with Taylor and the mom talks have been going on for a while. And this is something that happens a lot in the gay community. And so it's like, how do the straights get a hold of being open or being swingers, and then they fumble the bag right off the bat, right? Like, we have been doing this for generations, or like we've been doing this for like decades, right? The gay community, for one reason or another, there's multiple podcasts who talk about open relationships and what they've done for that relationship. Some they made it stronger. Some have realized, this wasn't working out for me, and this actually opened my eyes that I didn't want to be part of this relationship. So there's a lot of elements to this, but it seemed like there was so much drama with mom talk, and it's almost like, was it a communication issue? Was it a boundaries issue? Because I will say the gays are very clear about their boundaries.
Oh,
right?
100%. Yeah.
Of like, you are not going to do X, Y, and Z to my boyfriend. You're allowed to do this. You're allowed to do that. You're not allowed to be in our house. You can be in your house. You can be in a hotel, motel, whatever. You can be at a club, you can be on a ship, you can be on a cruise. You cannot be in our house, right? So there's all these different elements that have to be talked about. And I feel like with Mom Talk and Mormon Wives, it's interesting that it got this conversation going in the hetero community.
Yeah.
So what's your take on that, with the hetero community now being openly broadcast about swingers or open relationships?
Yeah. I think it's like always about judgment, right? Because the whole thing about like being gay is, being free and being able to like be yourself. And if being yourself means like being in an open relationship and like, not having any boundaries or like setting boundaries that work for you and your partner, then that's like it's okay and it's free from judgment. Whereas like the heteros and the straights, like there will always be a level of judgment. Like that's why they have always had difficulty in like navigating swinging and like this is my opinion, like difficulty in navigating like swinging and like being in open relationships, because there's that question of judgment behind it, to be like, if I did something that I actually wanted to do and my partner was okay with it, will the next person judge me? Or like, will my best friend judge me? Will my family judge me? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes. Me and one of my friends have this conversation all the time. He's like, I think I'm meant to be in a throuple, right? And my mom's first,
go for it, girl.
what was my mom watching? She called me into the room one time and she's like, explain this to me, right? And my mom is like old school Latina, like it's just
yeah.
You're
exactly.
in one relationship and you're not doing anything else, right? Like you're with this person and with this person only, right? So she called it thruffle, like a truffle. And I was like, it's thruple, like couple, but with 3. And she's like, thruff. And I'm like, no, thruple, right? So we get into the conversation of a thruple. And she's like, I don't know, that's too much. That's weird, right? So like she couldn't, but it goes to say,
it's
the heteronormity is
exactly, it's that expectation
is that if you love
like,
me to my entirety, then you shouldn't need someone else. When in reality,
exactly,
there are desires that sometimes people want to act on. And so there are people who can compartmentalize or differentiate that, especially in the gay community, right? Like if you're dating someone who doesn't go to the gym and they don't have big muscles and they're just like, just regular, like they just, they're natural, their whole body's natural and they just do their thing. And then their significant other is like, oh my God, there's this big, massive, beefy guy who like, I just want to touch all over his muscles and blah, 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 blah. Right. So their significant other can differentiate like, oh, like this is a fantasy that they want to fulfill, right? So they're like, have at it, because I will never be that person. And
but
there's
I think
an
like
element. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, on the flip side, I think that a lot of gays aren't getting into relationships because of this as well, like because they aren't being true to themselves and they aren't being open to themselves, because they like grew up with like heteronormative, like judgmental, an environment like that, where it's like, I want to be in a relationship, but I want to be in an open relationship, but they're too scared to like say that to their potential partner or to their current partner. And therefore it's like stopping them from going further, if that's what it means. Like, I think we've got a good point where like the gays have been doing this for years, but in the same time, I think that this stops the gays from actually getting closer to each other, because they're still too scared to say, I want to be in an open relationship, I want to be a swinger, and I want to be a TikToker because of that.
I think that needs to be something that you need to be saying right out the gate, right? Because especially in
you have to say it to yourself first. Like you need to like accept it to yourself first before you can say it to someone else.
And you need to know what's going to come with that, right? What I'm not going to call it consequences, but what judgments will come with that when you're either presenting it to your family or whether people are starting to find out. Like there is a rather insta famous couple or throuple.
I know who you're talking about. They live on a farm
of California, and in San Diego, California, and they send out Christmas cards with all 3 of them. Would that fly in my family? I don't know, but they're just living their life. They have an OnlyFans and they have their they're doing their thing.
That's what the green story is for, like on Instagram, the green story.
The close friends.
Green story is for throuples,
Throuples and potentially looking, right?
Yeah, that's what the green story is for.
It's interesting. And I really want to know what the straight community has to say about this. So drop your comments and let us know what you think about open relationships or swinging and how that's going in the hetero community, or how do you feel about it in the hetero community? Because maybe we can give you some insight from our perspective, right? Like, this is where the gays come into clutch, right? We know things because we have life experience, and we have been exposed to this world more than the hetero community has. So feel free to ask us any questions, because the gay community is strong. We are right here. We have your back, and we will give you insight that you may have not known before. Now, moving on with our gay community and brands and backing, the Pussycat Dolls have officially made a comeback. So PCD is back. They have announced a world tour, and this has also been a week full of drama for the Pussycat Dolls because
all of the press.
Yes, PCD forever. And some would say we're giving reunion, but HR said it's also giving budget cuts, so we can only afford 3 of you this time around. Carmeet, one of the original founding members of the PCD group. This is before Nicole even got into this.
Exactly. She was always there.
PCD. Yeah. Carmeet was there when it was a burlesque group, when they were performing as burlesque.
Exactly. Yeah. With
and they were singing with Melody
Carmen
was also
Electra.
Yes. They did Dangerous Love at one of the award shows, and it was Dangerous Love, I've got to, right? And they're all dressed and they're doing this whole burlesque. It was a dance routine. It was almost like a dance group, and eventually evolved into the Pussycat Dolls. Now, Carmeet came out this week stating that she never knew about the reunion and she was not reached out to. Also, Jessica Sutta, which ended up being the second redhead of the group after Carmeet left and then came back. Because she had dark hair initially, and then she went red. Jessica Sutta also reached out this week and released a statement on her Instagram and said that she was also not aware of the reunion of the Pussycat Dolls, and she didn't find out until the night before. She was finding out in real time. I actually want to read the actual statement. First of all, I want to thank everyone who has reached out with messages of support. I truly appreciate the kindness. I will say, I have known Jessica personally, been to her house, and she is very, 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 always been very gracious.
Really?
Yes. And we lost touch for a minute, and then I recently ran into her not too long ago, maybe like a year and a half ago. Wonderful to me, right? I've never had a bad experience with her. So I will say she has always been gracious. I do want to clarify a few things. I was never planning to return under the current circumstances, which, that's insider information. And unfortunately, I'm still unable to dance due to ongoing health issues. Because of that, the recent news was difficult for me. When rumors about the 3 girls began circling, I did try to reach out privately for several months. I didn't receive a response until the night before the announcement, which meant I didn't have time to prepare for a reaction that followed online. As many of you know, I've been grieving the loss of my mom while also dealing with neurological conditions where stress can trigger severe physical pain. So the intensity of the online response has been challenging. I found it ironic that the press release suggested we wanted, quote, attention. The truth is, I wanted the exact opposite. The stress from situations like this causes real physical flare-ups for me. Do you think I want to be verbally attacked by strangers online? I would simply have appreciated a heads up earlier so that I could process everything privately and handle the situation with a bit more grace and dignity. That said, I genuinely wish the girls a successful tour and nothing but the best moving forward. I'm grateful for the experiences and memories I had with PCD, and I will always hold that chapter of my life close to my heart. Okay, let me unpack this for a second. So, Jessica, there is a lot, right? So Jessica has made a clear stance here in the States that she supports the MAGA movement and Donald Trump because of the MAHA, M-A-H-A movement, which is Make America Healthy Again movement, because she states that she has been injured,
Like,
medically
yeah,
injured by
neurological. Yeah.
the COVID vaccine, and that it should have not been released to the public, according to her. And she, I believe she stated that her mom, if I'm getting this correct, has passed also because of the COVID vaccine. Now, everyone had a different experience. She said, you know, it initially started with an adverse reaction. And she thought, you know, nothing of it. And she's also part of this documentary that came out, which I have not watched yet.
Okay.
But she has gotten a lot of heat from the PCD fan base because we are a gay fan base.
Gays, yeah.
And so there was a lot of there's been a lot of comments in her messages, unfortunately, about her support for the current administration in the United States. I will say, you know, you and I have traveled the world. You were on that 6-month world tour that you did, and I ironically happened to meet you in a few of those places. And we know that different places in the world have better regulations on their food,
exactly,
right? So like a lot of countries use vegetables to get their coloring and powders of vegetables to get their coloring for their dyes in their food. Like Skittles is outlawed in a lot of places in the world because of the dyes that come with it. So, matter of fact, I opened an Oreo the other day from Australia. It was a mint chocolate chip one, and it was this big. And the Oreo from America is this big because we're such gluttons here in the United States, right?
Yeah.
You know, I can empathize with wanting to just be healthy in general, because even when you came down to the States, you stated that it was hard for you to find good produce here.
I was like, where's the vegetables?
Compared to what you get in the down under, right? So, you know, here's the thing, what I like about like-minded people like me is that someone like you, someone like I, we have world knowledge. We've been around the world. We've been to different places in different countries, and so we can understand that food is different in different places, right? Like people who have gluten intolerances here in the United States can go over to Paris and they can eat pasta there and have no gluten issues. They can also, you can eat dairy in different countries because the casein is different and you're actually not lactose intolerant. It's just the way that the dairy is produced here in the United States of why you're lactose intolerant. And so I can empathize with wanting to be healthy, with maybe, you know, things happening to her body because of, you know, different elements of what's happening. She doesn't really post. She had one post about Trump and Melania. One was about the Melania documentary. The other one was when Trump won. But it seems like her stance seems to be more based off of just wanting to be healthy given her circumstances.
Exactly.
And can anybody really blame her for that? Right?
No.
You want to be healthy, but do I like the administration? No. Do I I want to read a comment really quick. Geeksy3 BWAA said, not the budget cuts, when I said that HR, hold on, let me show this. That HR was given budget cuts. Okay, look, we can only afford 3 of you this time around. But you know, she was getting a lot of heat online for that. Now, Carmit has not stated a political stance. She is still friends with Jessica. But I mean, when you have history with someone and those relationships can either crumble or they can prosper depending on how vulnerable each one of you are willing to be, right? And Carmit has a history of being in the industry, right? She's in her early 50s and she has had a amazing career even prior to being part of PCD. She
literally Beyonce,
Michael
Crazy
Jackson's
in Love.
music videos, Michael Jackson's background dancer, Jennifer Lopez's background dancer, Janet Jackson's background dancer.
Beyonce.
She has a whole thing on her Instagram of highlights of who she's worked. Aaliyah. She was with Aaliyah before the plane went down for the Bahamas Rock the Boat song. Carmit was one of the main principal dancers on the boat. And they happen to be taking a commercial flight home. And that's the only reason that, you know, she's here to this day is because Aaliyah took a private jet out of the Bahamas and they all seen it happen. So she has been in the industry for a minute and was one of the original founding members of PCD. She did post, she just released a new EP. And
oh, really?
Yeah. And it is called... limited edition, I believe. She just posted it 2 days ago. She had released a statement stating that, she wishes the girls the best, and that she was going to be announcing music soon. And here we are, where she's announcing music now. So, it's interesting to see where what's happened there as well, because there was a minute where her and Nicole were very, very close, and they haven't posted in a while, which, me, I celebrities are different, right? They live such an intense lifestyle. Reality stars, we put ourselves on the line, and it's like, good luck, right? So we tend to dig more into reality versus like celebrities. They deserve a right of privacy. Their lives are under scrutiny 24/7.
Exactly.
So I don't really care to dig in what happened between her and Nicole, or like if they're friends or if they're not friends, or who's close and who's not. I think for the most part, everyone has handled everything pretty graciously. But man, when React came out during 2020, that was a moment that I thought was going to blow up and be the Pussycat Doll reunion tour, and we didn't get it. What is happening?
I just want to hear the rest of them sing though. Like have you seen those memes?
Carmit was she was one of the principal singers in Beep, and Melody was a principal singer in multiple songs, and so
it was always the three of them.
Well, also Ashley is singing now on Club Hit, which is the newest single that was released.
Okay,
but she still got a line, girl. She still got a line. We got to give her the credit.
Got a line.
She still got a line, so we got to give her credit where credit's due. But we'll see how this tour goes. And if maybe they have individual music that they're going to be performing, because
that'll be cool.
Or they're just going to be performing the hits.
I hope the hits, and I hope they come to Australia, because.
But they can all sing. Have you heard all of them sing?
Yeah, they released on their second album. They all had like an individual song. Like on their second album. Yeah,
Jessica has a beautiful voice. Carmit has a beautiful voice.
Yeah, I really like Ashley's voice, and Melody. Like no one like Melody's voice. Amazing.
And what's funny to me is that Melody has really been the only one who hasn't really said much, still doing her thing. She hits Broadway, like I
don't think she needs to say her thing. Do you know what I mean? Like she's been through so much flack that she doesn't need to say anything. I think she's said, well, maybe she has, like she probably is just protecting her energy, like whatever. Do you know what I mean? She's just doing her.
Here's the thing too, is the topic has come up that we're running so far out of time. The topic has come up are all of these millennial groups and artists making comebacks because this new music that coming out does not compare to the hits that millennials had when we were in the 2000s. And
I think girl groups are coming back though. Like
girl groups are coming back, right? So
like I
K-pop
love
Demon
Cat's Eye
Hunters
right now. Like Cat's Eye, they're amazing, but again, same thing. Like Manon has left. Well, she's on a hiatus, but she hasn't left.
But that's the thing. Like Cat's Eye, like someone like me, like Cat's Eye, I haven't really caught it hasn't caught my attention significantly, right? But you had these hits where Nelly Furtado, Timberland was in everybody's production,
everybody's pocket.
Timberland was in everybody's.
Exactly.
T-Pain was in everybody's productions. T-Pain 1 year at the Grammys was nominated in the same category with every single artist, so he knew he was winning a Grammy. It just didn't know who he was going to win it with, right?
Exactly.
So we have. Those are hits, and when those come on still until this day, 20 years later, people are singing at the top of their lungs. Now, it's only going to stand the test of time is if these new artists are really going to be playing like that in 20 years. I think one song that will is Pink Pony Club. That will come on in 15, 20 years, and it'll still hit just like it did, just like
exactly.
Cyndi Lauper's Girls Just Want to Have Fun, right? It's fun, it's uplifting, it's people are going to lean into that when it comes on in 20 years. Now, other artists, who knows? But it's raised the questions online. Are millennial groups and artists making comebacks now in 2026 because this new Gen Z generation of singers is not bringing the same intensity, energy, and creativity that millennial artists did. I would like to know people's comments. Drop them in the comments and let me know what you think. Do you think that our millennial artists outpower the Gen Z artists and that Gen Z is only here for a moment? Now, with that, where does music go after this, right? Like, where is the next set of, you know, super megastars, right? Do I really think we have megastars right now? Look who's going on tour.
Do you know who needs to make a comeback?
Who?
I think Mr. 305.
And you know what? He is making so much money in real estate right now. He doesn't have to. He doesn't. Like,
I know, but come back.
He does. Pitbull is a power player, but Pitbull, again, Pitbull, Timberland, power players. Missy Elliott, everywhere. Power player. So
everywhere.
Even like Sierra, girl, come back, right? Drop us a new album. I mean, Rihanna.
She did though. Sierra dropped a new album last year. You got to be on the new music.
Okay, well, I was busy listening to Miguel's.
I listened to all the new music.
New song is so good. And he is the nicest person. I met him in person.
Yeah.
And I melted. There is just a swag about that man. And he is 100%. So gracious and kind. And if you talk to him, like, he acknowledges you, and he really acknowledges you individually as a person.
Yeah.
Now, we do have to wrap this up. So I do want to say, you know, Taylor, I want to hear everybody's comments on Taylor. So drop those in the comments. And I also want to hear how everyone thinks about the trio of the PCD dolls coming back. Is it okay with just having half the dolls? Is it going to give the same energy? Or are you all concerned about how this is going to come out? Because we see Danny Kane came out with 3 as well. So let us know what you think. Who has better music? What do you feel about the PCD reunion, but only half of the dolls? And how do you feel about the Taylor situation for the Bachelorette and the Bachelorette being canceled when it was coming out in less than 48 hours? Now, it's time to get into our Oh No moment of the week. Paul, what happened to you this week that just made you say, oh, nar?
Look, my Oh No moment of the week is thinking that Taylor Frankie Paul was Jake Paul's brother. That's my Oh No moment of the week. Oh no.
Oh my goodness. My Arnar moment of the week was I had to go to an event. I'm not going to say what type of event it was, but needless to say, I just had to do something for work, right? And I packed. It was going to be a quick trip. I was going there, come back like the following day. So quick trip, had the outfit I was wearing, same shoes, was going to wear the same shoes to the event. I had 2 different outfits. Pair of jeans, a t-shirt, and then the other outfit was a pair of chinos, and it was a button-up shirt. That was nice and business casual. I go to get ready the next morning, only to discover that I do not fit in that outfit that I was going to wear to the business casual meeting. And everything.
Did you not try it on?
Everything was pulling. I only wore it like 2 months ago, and it fit fine, right? So apparently my bulking is working, okay? But everything was just. Everything was stretching so hard, fighting for my life, right? Put on the pants. I was giving a mean camel something that we're going to talk about. And it was.
Did you split?
Oh, hell.
Did it split?
No, I didn't split, but I was fighting for my life. Okay. So
you couldn't sit down.
I had to wear jeans, a black t-shirt, and I had this suede olive green jacket, bomber jacket, and I was like, we're gonna zip this up, we're gonna pull out the necklace, we're gonna do the best that we can, we're gonna roll out the pants a little bit, give it a little bit of a crease, and we're gonna wear the white suede sneakers, and we're gonna call it a day. And then my hair was a mess, and that was a whole other thing. So I was just like, Arnar. But everything went well. I got offered a promotion, and you know, we're gonna see if I'm gonna take it. I just have to see if it fits with my lifestyle and things that I want to do, because I think in today's time, you really need to weigh out your options, right? Like
100%.
Are things worth your time and energy? And if it is, you know, is the compensation matching what your goals are? And if not, then you just need to trust and believe that something else will come your way. Drop your comments below. Are you also inadvertently bulking at your house? Please let us know. Until then, we'll see you next week. Oh, no, we're just having so much drama this week. Bye. See you later.